Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwartner. I'm the founder and publisher of Selling Power Magazine. And today we have the great pleasure of meeting with Phil Harrell. He's Vice President, Group Director, Sales Research at Forrester. Welcome, Phil.
Thank you, Gerhard. Excited to be here.
I would like to get your take on how the world of selling has changed and what to do about it.
Love to chat about that. So certainly the world of selling has changed a lot since I started 30 years ago. Since the internet started and you've had the proliferation of digital channels, that sales has changed even faster in probably the last 10 to 15 years. And that's because the buyers are changing so much faster in terms of how buyers get information. When I started in sales, all the information was, I had all the information. Any buyer needed anything, they need to come to me. And I think we're all aware now, because of the digital channels and the internet, people can get information from anywhere. And I think what that has meant is it's really changing sales, and it's in a good way. I think what's changing sales is raising the bar on sellers, that in order to be successful, you have to add much more value than maybe you had to before, because the value you're competing with is what the buyer can find on the internet on their own. And if you as a seller can't provide any information or insight beyond what they can find via your company's website or via your peers, then you really don't have a lot to offer. And that's going to be hard for some organizations, but I think the future is exciting.
And there was another fundamental shift to the environmental change that was created by COVID. How did you see your best-in-class companies adapt to that?
We saw a range of different responses. Certainly companies that were very comfortable digitally, maybe that had inside sales motions already, that were selling over the phone, probably had an easier time engaging with buyers remotely than field sales organizations that had traditionally relied on field salespeople going out for face-to-face meetings and dinners. But again, I would argue that that's an exciting change, because it really accelerated the pace of change, the things that we know are probably need to happen anyway in terms of digital disruption, and it happened overnight. The best organizations were able to react in an empathetic way too, and I want to emphasize that they were able to take a step back and say, this is a moment here that we need to demonstrate to our customers and to our prospects how much we care about them. So that aspect of saying, we're here to help. We're not going to try to get very difficult with negotiating our contract terms. We're going to understand that everyone here is dealing with an unprecedented event. And we're going to take the long view and say, what can we do to help you as a customer make it through this pandemic, survive this? And our bet is coming out of the other side that the payoff will be enormous, because we have earned that customer loyalty.
How do you use your own cognitive abilities to predict the future of sales? And you wrote a very interesting paper on that.
It's both research on your own through reading all the data. We're lucky at Forrester. We have a tremendous amount of data that we've collected about what's happening with buyers, for example, where we see that going in the future. We have a lot of data on sales organizations and sales organizations we engage with. And then the other thing my team and I do is we think about engage with having interviews with customers and with clients and with prospects to get their sense of where the future would hold. So bringing that all together, I think, coupled with the fact that my analysts and I all have experience having done sales. I ran sales organizations for 25 years before I came to Forrester. We think that helps us give a practical and real world view onto where things are going.
So there are two jobs for a sales leader. One is the function, the operational part, and the other one is the structural part. And a lot of sales leaders are former salespeople that are very good with the function of sales, but they're bad with the structure. How can you help them?
Well, we at Forrester, we've put together models and frameworks to identify this is the high performance blueprint. So in order to architect a high performance sales organization, here are the key components of that system that need to be put in place, and then how you actually govern each of those elements. For example, the areas that we talk a lot about with our clients, sales strategy is one key one. Making sure you identify what are the target markets that you want to actually pursue, and making sure you have alignment with product and marketing on those target markets. That's one area we help sales leaders think through is, okay, let's think through and help you formulate, along with your marketing product counterparts, what are your target markets you want to pursue? And most importantly, what target markets do you not want to pursue and not invest in, which I would argue is even a harder conversation. Step two then is thinking about your routes to market. What routes to market do you want to use to engage with those that target segment? what route to market can allow you to satisfy the buyer in the way they want to buy and do so in the most cost efficient way for your own organization? And what is the intersect between those two? The third is then thinking about sales structure. What is the sales structure that will allow me to engage buyers? What are the roles that I need? And how do I organize my team? Is it geo, or is it vertical, or is it product-based approach, to allow me to pursue that target market in the most efficient way using the routes to market that have been identified? And then you move from there and you go into the prospecting. How am I going to systematically engage prospects, both through outbound prospecting and through inbound efforts, to generate the opportunities both through the sales organization and through the marketing organization, so that I have enough pipeline for my salespeople to be successful, which leads obviously into thinking about how do you earn new customers in a systematic way. Processes have to be foundational. So the establishment of processes that are interlocked with marketing and customer success and product to, foundationally ensure that you're giving a good buyer experience. And then on top of that, infrastructure is purchased to automate and accelerate those processes that then in turn delivers the insights, which is the data that allows the seller to understand those buyers at a very deep level across the organization. And from that, then talent is enabled to be successful. So it's that kind of thinking that we're helping our clients move to, so that they can articulate their sales organization and go to market in that way.
Well, thank you, Phil. For now, we are going to continue our conversation in part 2, where you learn about the 5 Ps. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.